got nothing for you, Dre.
Yeah. Now I'm forgetting the song. God damn it! You see how quickly
you made that
I can
up.
forget the. No, it's an Instagram meme thing.
Okay, we gonna start the show now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Starting the show. Ready? Clack clack. Welcome to the Good Negroes podcast.
I'm Jynxx.
I'm Dre.
And I feel like I need to bring it down 10 notches.
Yeah. Well, my monster drink's kicking in. Unnamed energy drink.
I
Potential
haven't had
sponsors.
a monster drink or any other kind of drink.
We were actually drinking earlier.
It's not considered drinking if it's a spiked
Popsicle stick.
pop. Yeah, like the little what do you call those that they used to have in the grape
Icicles.
icicle pops.
Yeah. Well, it's Jynx's birthday tomorrow. We're not sure when this episode's coming out, but send her Cash App. Actually, send us both Cash App. At the Good Negroes.
We don't have that Cash App.
We're gonna get that. By the time this comes out, at the Good Negroes, or the name will be changed. But we'll have a link, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, our subject today.
What are we talking about?
Well, you were telling me how you're close into a new relationship.
What?
That's not what that meme that you sent meant with
What?
the thing. Okay, well.
What?
We were talking about relationship deal breakers in our private life.
Yeah, okay.
And so that's what we're going to be talking about today.
I'm still trying to figure out what meme I sent you. What?
Jynxx, aren't you close to a new relationship?
No.
Huh?
I'm about as far from it as possible.
I see all them DMs in the Good
I'm
Negroes.
minding my own damn business
Listen,
is what I'm doing.
I don't get DMs in the Good Negroes message box.
We collectively get whatever message is in there is for us collectively. Ain't nobody talking about, hey, Jynxx.
Yes, they
let
are.
me holler
I just
at you.
delete them. But yeah, so I had a recent conversation the other day just about relationship deal breakers, and I really don't. I think I only have one hard one, but there are.
Really?
Yeah.
One hard one?
Yep.
Which
and I
is
just
what?
don't know how hard it is either.
That's what she said.
No one's ever said that. Well, okay, let's not get into that. But probably for me it was hard drug use that pushes up on addiction, right?
Okay.
So if somebody was using some recreational drugs, even past weed.
Oh, I know. You would do heroin, so I know where you stand. Dre says, I would do some heroin. I would do some crack.
Okay, so
Pause.
at this point I won't, but there was a time where I
Oh, a
would've tried
week or
it.
two later?
No. I mean,
You've pivoted?
only because of fentanyl. Because there's fentanyl out there. But back in the day, I might have tried some. Seriously. Dad, don't call me again about this either.
Dad, call him again about
Please
this.
don't call me about this.
Please call him now.
But yeah, at my age, I'm not trying nothing that could stop my heart. But, just coming back to, it's hard for me to deal with people with addiction problems.
Got it. Yes.
And I think you can use drugs here and there, even stuff we think of as hard drugs.
But you always do run the risk of going down a road that you didn't intend on going down, do you not?
I
And some people
don't believe that about drugs.
I think some people have a predisposition to addiction that they may not know about, and that's the scary part.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm cool.
But I've been with
But I get
somebody
that.
that had a cocaine addiction, and it was terrible. I could never do that again.
I can see that.
If they have or have ever had, I think that may be a deal breaker. It's just, again, I don't really have hard rules about.
Oh, yeah, you ain't been through enough trauma yet if you ain't got no rules.
So what are your deal breakers, though?
Shit. I've dated somebody that was a borderline alcoholic, so in the same sense, the stuff that I went through in that relationship, and I was still super young. Yeah, that's a no-go.
Is that from trauma in your childhood, or that's just... Like, I have alcoholism in my family, so
no,
for me, that's a
my dad
issue.
won't touch liquor. Like the German side, obviously, we all drink,
Right.
but my dad is like super he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. Until I turned 35, I didn't think my dad cussed, but he was just trying to be respectful of the women, right? And
Right.
me being that, he never cussed around me. I'm like, Dad, stop. You don't know your daughter. She cussed like a sailor because Germans cuss like sailors.
Like Americans. Like black Americans, like
You know,
cool
it's-
black non-religious
funny,
Americans.
though? I've had a lot of people make commentary on the language that I use. And part of me takes offense to it in a way, because you wouldn't say that fuck shit to a man. They'd be like,
Right.
I wouldn't expect that language to come out of such a pretty
But
mouth.
that's projecting. That is, I was about to say, because what happens with you, Jynxx, people project stuff on you.
They do.
That's different than you are. Even though you do a really good job of projecting who you are in your social media. Like, I know you outside of social media, but the presentation, like even the glamour of it, is a good representation of who you are.
So is that another way of saying I'm authentic across?
Yeah.
Okay, I can rock with that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know any other way to be. So if somebody wants me to stop cussing, I'm like, I might not be the one for you.
Right, but they're projecting on you this pretty, prim, proper girl that's in there, you know, because that's part of a little
the
bit.
fetishizing of it, though.
I think that's how you look, too.
Yeah, but there's
because you're
also
nothing like that in real life. It's just the face looks like that. But,
I know, it's a rude awakening. I have friends all the time, like my guy friends that I've known for 20 years now. They're like, when I first saw you and I had a certain image of you, and then when I met you, you shattered that bitch today. Yes,
Right,
I did.
Right.
You're welcome.
There's dudes that are like, man, I think I want to talk to her. But I'm like, you could talk to her, dude. She's pretty normal. Like, she's not going to, like, be one of them girls with pretty problems.
Unless, it can also go sideways, because you know one of your peoples that rubbed me the wrong way. You know, I don't want to say no names,
yes.
but I could snap if you try me.
That's because he came at you a real crazy way, too, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so
You can't be like, yeah, baby, let me touch that booty. It was about that with better words. So obviously, but this dude was one of the most pretty ass niggas. Is pretty ass niggas a deal breaker for you?
You may categorize them as pretty ass niggas.
This dude gets pretty ass nigga love every place we go.
Okay.
I
I feel bad though, because now we talking about people that
I know he's gonna be like, "Why you talking about me, dog?" I'm be like, "It was that nigga Sean. That wasn't you."
Like, I ain't got nothing nice to say no way, because he rubbed me the wrong way. So my
Yeah.
opinion may be a little biased, but we cool.
Yeah.
On whatever. So relationship.
So yeah, but I'm
deal
saying, is that a
breakers.
deal breaker for you?
What, pretty boys?
Yeah, because I mean, you don't really fool like average ass dudes have a chance.
Yeah, because average ass. What has a chance is substance, right? Whatever package it comes in, right? So if you are, you know, living the life and you are whatever, but you're of substance.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. If you're a regular ass dude, as you want to put it, and you have substance, it's the substance. Like, all that other shit is just kind of, it's the substance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, alcoholism is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I got my block knocked off because of an alcoholic. Cool on that.
Yeah. Is that a one-time deal?
Put your hands on me?
Yeah. And what if you saw signs of it? Like someone just grabs you, was like, "That's what I'm trying to tell you. You need to get in this car."
So after I got my block knocked off, which left me with permanent like neck issues.
Yeah.
Right. Problem was I was kind of stuck in the situation, so I had to slowly figure out what my next move was going to be. So it wasn't like an overnight, I'm out this bitch, because there was really nowhere for me to go. So I had to figure it out at that point. And so once I figured it out, I was done and I was out. And so in future relationships, I was very sensitive to, if you drank too much, it was a red flag, which was unfair at the time, right? But it was based off of the trauma that I'd experienced. And so if you drank too much, I'm cool. If I saw certain things, nope, we're not doing that. And after that time, if ever a guy, you know, because guys will do some dumb shit and just punch against the wall and some shit, and I'd be like, look, I'm going to tell you this one last time, okay? One time and one time only. You got one time to do that. If I see that shit again, I'm out. You don't even have to touch me. Yeah, you don't even have to touch me. I'm out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of thing, aggression and alcoholism, those are deal breakers. But there's also other things that are deal breakers, right? And some of these are maybe less written in stone, because it depends. Some people may be grandfathered in. Some people may be just that amazing. So none of it is ever written in stone, but there are some things, right?
Yeah.
So some things are trainable, some things are not trainable. And I hate to say it that way, because that sounds
No, I'm
awful.
realizing I have more than my hard drugs listening to you too.
Great. I would hope so.
Well, more than hard drugs as a deal breaker. Like,
I would hope so.
What you're talking about, violence, that's definitely one for me. If any woman, if I saw violence towards me, over, right? That made me think of, I'm at the first sign of crazy, I'm done.
As you should
That's
be.
a deal breaker. And then now
So
I
what's
realize
the sign
there's-
of crazy, though?
on the light side, there's women that have ridiculous Facebook, social media posts where I've decided I couldn't fool with them from just what they put on social media. They're like, I need a man that wipes my feet and opens the door and just like opening the door is fine. Okay, nothing wrong with opening the door. I actually open the door forever for women. But you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just these long ass poems about how people should be and what they want. And I'd be like, yeah, dude, that's crazy. And I know that that's crazy because they're going to have expectations of me that are fantasies that I'm not going to bring. Like, I'm going to bring what I bring to the table that's going to be cool.
In the way that you bring it.
Yeah, and you're going to have to either love it or not. But I can almost tell that a fantasy mindset is a deal
You're not
breaker.
into the person, you're into the relationship for what you expect that relationship to be. The person is almost secondary at that point because you have this vision
Exactly.
of what this should
That's
look
what they.
like.
That's what I'm scared of. in
Insert
some way.
man here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, and then also I would never fool if I saw signs of what I call gift sex. I'm a sexual person, so I need someone to be into sex, want to have it.
Oh.
We don't have to be like fucking every single minute. Definitely don't want a relationship based off sex, but there are, which, yeah, hey, for a time that works. But you'd be surprised. But like, there's people that feel like they're giving you sex as a gift, as opposed to it's just something that they want to do.
So wait. So when you say giving you sex as a gift, so let me ask this in its entirety. Is it that they're later going to expect something in return because they gave you sex, or is it the fact that it's like pity sex, that they're not really into it, but they're just because you want to
Exactly.
do it?
It's more like that.
The
That's what I
latter?
call. Yeah.
Okay.
It's more like, not necessarily that they expect some gift or some kind of monetary thing. It's just more like, well, I'll give him some sex because that's what I'm supposed to do. Like, you need to be into sex for me. Like, it has to be part of what you want. Like, you know, I need some calls. Like, I need some dick. Like, I need that in my life.
Ah, yes.
I need it just that simple. Like, you know.
Sorry.
Yeah. See? That's what I'm saying. I mean, what if you were with a dude who was just like, well, it is Friday. Jynxx cooked and she was really fun.
The routine of it all.
On this day.
I guess
so
I should.
come get some of this dick.
Sound like
Jynxx.
some Eeyore ass shit.
Yeah.
Eeyore, like, I guess I'll give her some
Yeah.
dick.
Well, and on the sex side, I'm open to growing a sexual relationship with somebody too, of like just pushing stuff. So
Okay.
if you're not, you know,
Adventurous enough to.
I mean, I think I've never been in a relationship where sex didn't grow at some level.
Ooh, I've had one.
They just wanted to do missionary. all the
I'm
time.
not
Like,
going
just
to talk about this one. I'm not going to talk
'Cause
about
they'll know
it. I'm
who
not
they
going to
are.
talk about it. I'm just not going to talk about it.
Jynxx,
But
that's
so-
what the whole point of the show is.
I can't
Just
talk.
say,
But so let me.
say, just use the name. Be like,
Why did you just hit the name up?
sorry. You know what's so funny? From my from writing and improv, you always make up names of people so that
We are definitely. I couldn't even keep it together. I could not keep it
that is
together.
amazing.
Oh my God.
I'm
I hate
psychic.
it.
Hey, or are you going? We should beep the name out.
We are totally bleeping the name out. Oh my
Wow.
God. I can't stand you.
I forgot. Were we talking about gift sex? What did you do?
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Shut
Let's
up.
use a fake name.
Shut up.
Let's use
Just
a fake
stop.
name.
It's fun and games until like I'm asking you nicely.
I could tell.
Stop.
See,
Thank
this behavior right here is a deal breaker for me. Just somebody that's not willing to explore.
Somebody that calls you on your shit. Yeah, I'm
No.
that one. I'm that one.
Okay, no, that's not necessarily a deal breaker. I'll argue with you. It doesn't have to be the end.
Is this the end? Okay.
But
So, wow. Yeah. No, sex is important. Sex is, I don't even know where to go from here.
Because
Sex
we
is
all want that.
important.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. And I think you have to find your sexual energy match, right?
right.
God, I can't stand your ass. You have to find
I was-
your sexual energy match.
Right.
And so here's the thing, though.
That's why I picked it. It's a funny name.
If you don't shut the fuck up, Dre.
It's always a great.
If you don't shut the fuck up, Dre.
And nigga and always be trying to borrow
Shut
my
up,
shoes.
Dre.
Don't it seem like somebody that would borrow your
I'm about
shoes?
to walk off
You'd be
this fucking set and be done for the day.
Okay.
Like, not kidding. I hate you. I hate you right now.
Okay.
So much.
Damn it.
God, fucking A.
Okay.
You wonder why I fucking cuss.
Totally didn't have to cuss, but
Yes.
my fantasy woman doesn't cuss.
Well, I ain't it.
No, yeah, no, I like cussing.
Clearly.
Actually, I like women with a little bit of nigga in them. Like,
I'm a whole nigga. And that's the problem for some guys, right? I grew up with guys. That's all I knew. It's all I gravitated to. It's still all I gravitate towards. Just,
I don't know if that is what does it though. I think that's in you no matter what.
I'm sure. Yeah, there's definitely some genetics, something or other, but
Or and if it's not genetics, it's just innate. It's just part of who you are. It's how you present to the world.
back to sex.
Yeah.
No, relationship deal breakers, not back to sex.
But this one thing that's interesting, just relationship.
Griff, he's too amused. I can't. This is
It's
gonna be
difficult.
awful. This is gonna be awful.
But fuck that nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to. You think some of these stories? It ain't some women out there like, did I give him gift sex and that's why it's over? Huh?
No, but we cannot.
Trelisa,
And the fact of the matter is,
obviously made up name.
hence, so we gonna get into it now, because now you done put a nigga on blast, and I'm not talking about me, and they probably won't ever see it. But the fact of the matter is, the sex was not bad. The sex was actually fucking amazing. And so no, I want to redeem the shit though, because the shit should have been bottled and sold on the shelves.
Okay.
However, something soured somewhere down the line between he and my chemistry, where all of a sudden it got super heady and we just couldn't have like normal old school like we used to say. No, this is way too much.
So you
This
had
is
to have,
way
like,
too much
you
information.
guys had to dress up in costumes or something to make it poppin' after that? Did I guess it right again? Fuck. I can't help being psychic.
When this show airs, I'm not watching it. It is
Yeah.
enough torture for me to sit here right now and work through
Yeah.
this. Oh my God.
Okay.
Relationship deal breakers. I'm going to tell you some of the stuff that
You gonna wipe your face, Jynxx? You kind of sweaty.
I'm not sweaty.
We're gonna put that in subtitles. But I think that a lot of things though, all of our deal breakers, you probably would have broke up with that person anyway too. Even if there wasn't a deal breaker. Something was wrong with them. And I think what we call deal breakers is probably, I'm just thinking about this here, is part of our fantasy of what things should be too, right? Because if someone's the right person, there's stuff you let slide, right? Like I remember I dated a girl that smoked cigarettes, and one of my friends was like, "You deal with somebody that smokes cigarettes?" I'm like, at my age, if that's all that's wrong with her.
I grew up in a household where my mother smoked, and it is the most awful thing. And I just remember her trying to kiss on me with that little cigarette breath.
There's some nigga that can kiss on you with cigarette breath.
No, the hell he can't. No.
There's
So
somebody-
weed used to be a no-no for me. I'm okay with weed at this point.
Okay,
So
see? That's
so
my
that
point.
has nothing to do with a specific person, though.
Yeah.
It's just like at some point, yeah, okay. How am I supposed to take this seriously
Yeah.
when Griff back here?
I'm just saying. What about cloves? Is that cigarettes?
cloves? I don't know anything about cloves.
Cigars. Or if they smoke
No,
cigars?
the occasional, because you don't smoke that on a regular. Like when I think of cigarette smoke,
You remember we were smoking them when you got drunk the other time? Those.
oh, them shits was bad. But yo, girl's shit was.
But I want to just bring up this point about the fantasies, though, because I'm having a discussion with one of my friends. She's like, you need to address that with somebody. I'm just like, I don't.
The what?
Just there was an issue with somebody. I said, this might be a thing, or this is one thing I watch about a person. And she's like, oh, you may need to address that.
And you
right
may,
up front.
but you'll know.
But my thing is, I don't have to address stuff up front.
But see, this is the thing. So for me,
And I say that because I might be okay with it.
You may, or you may not. Time will tell. But here's the other thing. And I don't know if men do this too, but I know for women, a lot of times women will live in this fantasy world, and I'm guilty of it. That'll be like, you know me, then you should know. Like, if we're together, then you should understand why, or you should. And so what has been brought to my attention was that nobody can truly love you properly if you don't explain to them how, because we all go through life from our own lenses and perspectives, right? And so there is value in communicating certain things. And it doesn't mean that it has to be an issue, but if you step to it and just have the conversation, be like, you know, this thing right here, I'm just pointing it out. I don't know if it's going to be an issue. I don't know if it's not. It's valid, and everybody's aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Because that person, they may also say like, okay, I get that, and I want to respect that. And so, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be from an accusatory stance. But I do think there's room for conversation. And I'm learning this too. My non-relational ass. I'm practicing it.
Right. Like, practicing for that dude.
And so.
That woman? Okay. No, I know. I'm joking. I know that's not you.
But so those are works in progress, right? And so for somebody like me who doesn't come from a family that communicates well, I'm a Scorpio. We just take
you really
shit
think
in.
That's the thing?
From all of them that I know, yes.
Okay.
Except for one.
Yeah.
That's a unicorn. But we just bottle shit in and don't say anything because we're very like passionate, emotional people. And so when you couple passion, emotion, and somebody might have did something that you don't like, that's not always seen
you have some triggers. I've seen that.
But I'm clear, and I'll tell you and that person that triggered me in the moment, I just got triggered. Yeah. And whatever the fuck happens after that, it just is what it is. Okay. Right? And I don't have very many, but I do have some very solid ones.
Yeah.
Right? Because most of the time when people say something, I don't really.
It's fucked up being a guy, because if you're fine, I miss all that stuff it'll take me a couple weeks to be like, oh my gosh, she doesn't respect me at all. And
really?
And if I fucked too, Lord, it'll take me weeks. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm a side nigga. Actually, I've never been a side nigga. I've never been.
That you know of.
Anybody that I really have fooled, well, so I think I've never been a side nigga. I know that. Okay. Yeah. And
okay.
No, only because if I fool with you, I fool with you. Like, I'm very intentional, right? So if I start going out with you, I'm very intentional. Now, sometimes people may feel that my how I date, I'm being intentional when I'm not, but I'm intentional. I usually know where people are and stuff they do, so that it's be hard for them to have a full another man where like I'm like the side man. Now, if I'm just dating you and we date every so often and something might pop and might not pop, then that's just being loose in these streets out here between two adults.
We talked about deal breakers and we got stuck on sex.
Okay.
We really haven't gone down any list of deal breakers.
So you tell me some more then.
These are the weird ones.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the weird one, okay, that people will often look at me like I'm crazy. Because I think once you become a certain whole adult and you've created this ecosystem around yourself, there's certain things that have to like kind of fit into it. And I don't know. And again, like I said, none of these are written in solid stone, some more than others, right? Hygiene is huge.
I mean, come on, Jynxx. Well,
has to be said.
Wouldn't you know that someone's dirty right off the bat?
It has to be said. It literally, like,
So
I pay attention.
what level
I pay
of
attention
hygiene?
to everybody. I pay attention to everybody's like habits. If you come over my house and use the bathroom and I don't hear water and the water's not on long enough for me to know that you could have used soap, and I pay attention to all that shit all the time.
But haven't you been drunk at the club, came back to the house, and got freaky? Or freaky in the car or at the club? They weren't hygienic then.
Yes, that is true. So I mean, there's an overall way of being as opposed to
Something
individual
spontaneous.
situations
Okay.
happening. Yes.
Okay.
Right. If you're an overall cleanly person and we just decide to just fuck it that one day and literally just, right, balls to the wall, end up and whatever, right? That's cool. It's not always that way. But I'm just very conscious of like, who are you as a person? Like, what is it that's important to you? Do you wash your hands? Do you take off your shoes before you go in the house? Do you have your house clothes, like when you go outside and you're like in public and around a whole bunch of people, do you then lay on your bed with the same clothes? Like it's those kinds of things that
I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I came over this girl's house one time, and I was about to hit, and she was like, "You can't get in my bed with those clothes on." It destroyed the entire mood.
So there are moments like that where
Like it was like, you know what, you ain't, and then I probably was like, you ain't gonna be telling me what to do.
So again, there are ways of being, and there are moments there where shit happens, right? So there are always exceptions. None of it is like, oh, I'm gonna break the moment just to, because I can wash them sheets right then and there, which they probably gonna need it anyway once we're done, right? So
Wait, you wash your sheets after sex?
yeah, the whole bed is sweaty.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Okay, hygiene conversation.
Yeah.
You just gonna lay in that bitch for another few nights and wallow in the memories?
Hey, I mean, you know,
Okay. Got it.
it's not like you wash your couch.
You might still be there.
You wash your couch after couch stuff, so no.
You might still be there as I'm peeling off the layers of the bed and putting them
Oh,
in the
wow.
washing machine right then and there in the morning. Be like,
Wait, but what if you were in a relationship where y'all have sex every night? You would just get new sheets
I don't
every day?
remember that. I don't know what that's like.
Okay.
I don't. I'd be washing a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah, and it might be 1 or 2 nights then, but it's not gonna be like we fucking every day and this bed sheets have been there for 14.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Like
That's
it's not
fair.
that.
Yeah. So hygiene.
Hygiene is big. Diet is another big one, which is interesting because that kind of like kills a lot of people. Like in there.
Now, to me, you are totally limiting your population.
I'm clear, and I'm fine with
if
it.
you're like, you don't fool with meat eaters.
I'm fine with it though.
You just cut half the meat eaters. You literally just thank God. You know, black people are more vegetarian than anybody. So we're at least in America, yeah.
Yeah, I've been surprised at the amount of vegans and vegetarians that have come across. Even pescatarian
It's a
is
couple
not an
percentage
issue.
more, but
Like,
black people are a higher percentage. But
I do also feel like you attract that that resonates with you. You know
yeah,
what I'm
and
saying?
then
And so
you're in all those vegetarian Facebook groups. So.
I'm not.
Huh? Vegetable
Are you
crew?
on all these bald ass niggas Facebook groups?
I am. You surprised? Shine pimps.
Oh my
That's
God.
the name?
Shine pimps? No, Milk Dud.
Okay.
Milk Dud Anonymous.
That's not what we call it.
Well, to circle back around to your addiction is a big one.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
mean,
fair.
only because addiction means you actually are starting to lose stuff, right? Because of the drug itself, including alcohol.
I mean, some people are functional, right? And they are.
True, but they're losing stuff. They're losing relationships. They're losing maybe promotions at work. You're like, shit.
It's just bringing back memories of a great
Smoking,
night that I
smoking.
don't remember all of.
Right. The night I got kicked out of the bar.
I don't remember that part
Yeah.
either. Yeah, but it was a great night.
So
Just need to
we're
recreate
gonna have
that.
another one. But yeah. I still just think at the end of the day, our deal breakers are reasons to drop someone you would have dropped anyway. There's an omnivore out there that you could fool with, or he'll eat a little less meat for you, you know, or just he's gonna eat cheeseburgers before he comes through and bring tofu and seitan
So that's
and bell
tricky.
peppers to you, right? But I'm just saying, it's
In theory, yes, but at some point it becomes an issue. Like if you're literally thinking long term, because I mean, you can do whatever you want to do in your house, but what happens when we share a home? Like I literally start to puke at the thought of like cadaver in my frying pan in my house and in the air.
But I mean, you would.
And then sex gets inhibited too. I'm not going into detail. Don't ask me the questions.
I won't. But I mean, maybe it's because of the liquids involved. There's meat, and there's no meat in the liquid. There's no meat in the liquid. There's no cell from the meat into the liquid. That's not how the body works. The body extracts the protein the same way it extracts the protein from kale. It's just protein, just an amino acid. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. But again, I just think there are reasons to cut people off that you'd have cut off anyway. There's a dude out there.
No, because
eating
a lot
pork
of
chop
those
right now.
reasons came because of a good guy that you probably should have cut off.
But
So-
I just think all that stuff's so dynamic with people, right? Like
There's definitely one person that could have the same traits as another person, and you react differently to the
Right.
to the two
That's my
different
point.
people, and that is fair. And that's why I say none of it is written in stone. Like for the general public, those are my parameters.
But there are exceptions.
There's definitely going to be that one person that might have me fucked up and be like, "Oh shit, I thought," right? And so that's
And
how it
have you
happens.
eaten hog maws?
No.
Hog head cheese?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm very
Yeah, I
clear
wouldn't.
on that.
I don't know if I would even date someone that ate hog head cheese.
Is that the stuff? Is that the stuff that's just like?
It looks like a meat gelatin.
Yes. Oh my god, we have that in Germany, and it's called
Buchenstachen? Sorry. They're gonna hate me in
That
Germany.
is
I'm
so.
gonna get beat
You are
up.
just so
Yeah,
like
it's-
between the crackhead comments and the that you do with my language. I feel some kind of way.
You know,
You
okay.
really are.
I'm done with making fun of the German language. Okay. Bunduschen.
These nuts. Just
I'm
like,
not saying I'm sorry.
that's not.
That's thank you.
I don't know what that was.
Beduschen.
Bitteschön.
Beduschen. Okay.
Yes, no, we have that. Obatsta. Shut up.
I'm not saying anything in German anymore.
Yeah, we do have that, and I didn't know those two things were the same thing.
What? What is that? Obaston?
Obatsta.
Obasta, which is what?
The meat. What did you say? The head hog.
Oh, hog head cheese. Yeah. I probably couldn't. If you ate hog head cheese, that's definitely
You know
a hard
people that
no.
eat chitlins.
That's a hard no too.
Oh, so you're gonna go through their
Yeah.
diet and be like,
Yeah, I forgot
do you
about-
eat chitlins.
I forgot about slavery food. So
You don't want to tongue nobody down that eats intestines. Is that where you draw the line?
even if you try
the
to call
stuff
it,
doesn't stay in
Yeah.
it doesn't stay in the mouth, Dre.
I'll-
It doesn't. It's an enzyme.
no,
Would you
that just
say
says something
it-
about you as a human being. Okay.
Hilarious. The double standard.
I know, and I have slave
can't-
sex fetishes that
And
I think that's where my bonnet fetish comes from.
on the next episode
Yeah.
of The Good Negroes, we'll be delving into the psychology behind Dre's slave sex fetish.
Call me Montgomery.
Got it. I'm gonna call your ass.
No, I would like call me Montgomery. Just like them good slave names. Get in here, Montgomery.
Oh,
Yes.
Griff, how you gonna clean this
Yes,
up?
we'll see. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Thank you so much
Another episode
for
of the Good
being a
Negroes.
part of today's episode.
Yeah. Got pretty wild.
I need a tissue because I'm crying.
Okay. There it is. Woo! Don't break nothing up here. We don't pay enough.